Welcome to today's episode of The Daily Threat, your trusted source for the latest in cybersecurity news and updates. I'm your host, and today we have some significant stories to cover that highlight the evolving threats and challenges in the cybersecurity landscape. We'll delve into Microsoft's new CrowdStrike Recovery Tool, the activities of the Pineapple and Fluxroot hacker groups, and the troubling fragmentation of ransomware groups. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about Microsoft's latest initiative to bolster cybersecurity defenses. Recently, Microsoft released a recovery tool developed in collaboration with CrowdStrike, aimed at helping organizations recover from cyber attacks more effectively. This tool, named the CrowdStrike Recovery Tool, CRT, is designed to address the immediate aftermath of a security breach, providing a comprehensive approach to recovery and remediation. The CRT works by integrating advanced threat intelligence and incident response capabilities. It utilizes CrowdStrike's extensive database of threat indicators to identify and neutralize malicious activities within compromised systems. The recovery process begins with a thorough forensic analysis to determine the extent of the breach, followed by targeted actions to remove malware, restore corrupted data, and patch vulnerabilities exploited by attackers. One of the most critical aspects of this tool is its ability to work in real time, offering organizations a swift response to minimize downtime and operational disruptions. The CRT also includes features for continuous monitoring to ensure that systems remain secure post-recovery. This proactive approach not only addresses the immediate threat, but also strengthens overall security posture against future attacks. For businesses, this means a significant reduction in the risk of prolonged exposure to cyber threats and a quicker return to normal operations. Next, we turn our attention to a concerning development involving two hacker groups known as Pineapple and Fluxroot. These groups have been identified as major players in the cyber underworld, responsible for a range of sophisticated attacks targeting various sectors. Pineapple and Fluxroot are known for their use of advanced persistent threats, APTs, which allow them to infiltrate networks and remain undetected for extended periods. The primary method of entry for these groups involves spear phishing campaigns, where highly targeted emails are sent to specific individuals within an organization. These emails often contain malicious attachments or links that, once clicked, install malware on the victim's system. This malware can then create backdoors, allowing the attackers to gain continuous access to the network. Pineapple is notorious for using zero-day exploits, which are vulnerabilities that have not yet been discovered or patched by software vendors. This gives them a significant advantage as they can exploit these flaws without immediate risk of detection. Once inside the network, Pineapple and Fluxroot employ various tactics to achieve their objectives. These can include data exfiltration, where sensitive information is stolen and potentially sold on the dark web, or deploying ransomware to encrypt critical files and demand a ransom for their release. The risks posed by these groups are substantial. Not only can they cause significant financial damage through ransom demands and data theft, but their activities can also lead to reputational harm and loss of customer trust. Businesses affected by such attacks often face long recovery times and increased scrutiny from regulatory bodies. To mitigate these risks, organizations should adopt a multi-layered security approach. This includes implementing robust email filtering systems to detect and block phishing attempts, regular security awareness training for employees to recognize and avoid phishing scams, and deploying advanced endpoint protection solutions to detect and neutralize malware. Additionally, keeping software and systems up to date with the latest patches can help close off vulnerabilities that these groups exploit. Finally, we discuss the alarming trend of ransomware groups fragmenting into smaller, more agile units. Traditionally, ransomware operations were conducted by large, organized groups with extensive resources. However, recent reports indicate that these groups are breaking apart into smaller factions, each operating independently. This fragmentation is making it increasingly difficult for law enforcement and cybersecurity professionals to track and combat ransomware activities. The smaller size of these groups allows them to be more flexible and adapt quickly to changing circumstances. They can also target a wider range of victims, from large corporations to small and medium-sized businesses, increasing the overall prevalence of ransomware attacks. These groups often use ransomware as a service (RaaS) models, where they provide the ransomware tools and infrastructure to other cybercriminals in exchange for a share of the profits. This lowers the barrier to entry for would-be attackers, leading to a proliferation of ransomware campaigns. The entry methods for these attacks vary, but common techniques include exploiting vulnerabilities in remote desktop protocols (RDP), phishing, and leveraging stolen credentials. Once inside a network, ransomware can quickly spread, encrypting files and demanding payment in cryptocurrency for their release. The risks associated with ransomware are severe, encompassing financial loss, data breaches, and operational downtime. For businesses, the cost of recovery can be substantial, often involving ransom payments, legal fees, and investments in enhanced security measures. To defend against this threat, businesses should implement comprehensive cybersecurity strategies. This includes regular backups of critical data, conducted in a manner that ensures backups are not accessible from the primary network. Multi-factor authentication (MFA) should be enforced to protect against unauthorized access, and network segmentation can limit the spread of ransomware if a breach occurs. Additionally, organizations should consider investing in threat intelligence services to stay informed about emerging ransomware threats and tactics. In closing, it's clear that the cybersecurity landscape is becoming increasingly complex and challenging. The stories we covered today highlight the need for robust and proactive security measures to protect against a wide range of threats. As always, we encourage you to stay informed and vigilant. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Daily Threat. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates and insights on cybersecurity.